All right, so this video is going to kind of take you through your analysis tool here. So it might look like a lot to begin with, but let's just take a look at what we have here. So this is our practice round. It has old data. So this data is from our year before. This is the previous tournament. You can see we have wins, losses, we have percentages, and then there's some things that you can add here if you want to add their current seed or the number of seniors or whatever you want in terms of a metric that you are interested in. We also have the conference data that you've looked at this before within Python. And then over here is team data, or will be, for the college basketball stuff. All right, so how this works is you are creating your own metric. So let's say I want to know free throw percentage, through a 3-point percentage, and then the win percentage for the conference. If I want to combine those, I could just add them up, and the higher that is, the stronger that team is. And so like this one here, right? We add up their free throw, their 3-point, and their conference win. You can see their conference win's really low, their free throw is high, their 3-point is kind of in the middle of the road. And then I go to another team with a stronger conference wins, right? We can see like Alabama, we can see Butler. We can combine these metrics. Now, what this is using, you don't have to change anything. It's basically looking up this value. So it's going to this data and it's looking up the 15th column. So what it's doing is it goes to the old data, goes here, and then it looks over at the 15th column here, and it looks up the name. So if we're looking for Alabama, right, we'd have Alabama should be 0.725. If we go over here, Alabama is 0.725. That's the number that it found. So it does all of those for free throw, 3-point, whatever we want there, and then combines them. If I wanted to change it, I look over here on the green part, and I say, all right, let's say I don't want free throw percentage, I want field goal percentage, which is 9. All you have to do is do 9, and everything should update. And there it goes. It goes and looks up all of them. Now you have your field goal percentage. Let's say I wanted for that I wanted the whatever else I want, my win loss percentage. So I want my win loss percentage. I change this to a 5. Everything adjusts. So that gives you the ability to change these metrics into whatever you want, and you can change the combined metrics to be something different if you want to. The next part is, how do you evaluate schools? So over here in the type, let's say that you're looking for, let's do one I can see, like Auburn, right? And maybe Auburn is playing, let's scroll down to another team. We'll go with Florida, all right? So I could look it up, but I can just type this in. It's using, again, this lookup where I see now, okay, this is actually pretty close, right? Those values are pretty close. Maybe I want to look at it a little bit differently. I'd say, all right, I want to go here, and I'm going to go back instead of field goal percentage. Maybe I really do want free throw. Maybe I think those are more important. Well, now I can see again they're still pretty close. Let's go instead of win-loss percentage. Let's go back to how I had it. We'll go with 3-pointers. So I think those are my most important. Again, still pretty close. So these teams would be, again, maybe we look at another metric like number of seniors, or we have something else that we'd have to look at to get our values here. So these are really close. So let's pick a different team. Let's say that they're not playing Florida, but they're playing Boston College. All right, well, now I get a difference, right? I can also see down here where my mean and my standard deviation for my combined for this column. So I know 1.3 plus 0.2, that's going to be a pretty good score. These ones are actually a little bit below average for my values. Let me pick a different one, like UCLA. Again, about the same. Let's do Kansas. There we go. That pops, right? So this one, I would actually say that Kansas has a much stronger chance than Auburn. So again, this is how you can use this metric. You can change these values. The other thing you have is what's called a pivot table. So what you're going to do here is you have this college basketball data, which is a massive data set. If we just look at it, right, there are 3,500 entries, but it has a ton of data by year as well that we can look at all of these. So we're going to use something called a pivot table to help with our analysis here. So if you click on this pivot table, some of this will be filled out for you already, but I'll just show you kind of how this was created. I'm going to add a team to a row, and I'm going to add a postseason to a row. So I can look like that. Now, I don't really, this gives me for each team, it's actually easier if I go postseason first. And you'll see that now what it does is it does second place, champions, Elite 8, Final 4. This one is a long list. So this is going to be the not applicable. I'm going to start to filter out some of these because I don't really need all of them. So when I look at a filter for postseason, I'm going to add the filter there. And I'm going to say, I don't need those. I don't need those. I don't care about round of 32. I don't even really necessarily want to know Sweet 16. These give me plenty to look at. All right, now when I scroll up, now I have second, champions, Elite 8, Final 4, which is great. But I don't need data attached to it. So let's say, again, I'm really interested in what I want. Let's say I'm looking at my 3-point here. And it's going to give me this part. I'm sorry, I want to put that in my values. There we go. I don't want the sum of 3-pointers. What I'd really like is an average. So I click on that and I click average, and that's their average 3 points offensive. And then let's say I'm also interested in their seed, right? I'm gonna put that in my values. And again, I'm gonna do, instead of count, I wanna do an average. So that was their average seed for the second place. And then let's add one more. I'm gonna add their, we'll do effective field goal, right? So effective field goal, I'm going to add as another value here. And again, I don't want a sum, that doesn't make sense. I'm going to do a average. So you can see right off the bat, I've built for, I'm going to freeze a row here. So I'm going to say view freeze. So I scroll down and I can't really see that. So I'm going to go format wrapping text wrap. All right, now I can see it. So I can see for my champions, right, there's an average 3-point offense of 37.62%, average seed of 2, and then their effective field goal of 54. I can see for my Elite 8, same idea, right? My Final 4, same idea. So this gives us an easy way to kind of see whether the teams that we have are within that range. And again, this is looking at 3,500 data points. So there's a lot there that it's comparing to. And if I want to do something else, let's say I'm looking for like a total offensive rebound, I can just add another column here. So I can add another value and it will do it. Again, I don't want the sum. I'm going to go with average. And then again, it gives me more data that I can do pop up. So those are the tools that you have available to you. I'm going to change the coloring just a little bit so you can see, like, these are the ones that you should change. Everything else should kind of auto-populate for you. So I'm going to put a big border around that is red so that you know that that's something to adjust. And then these are ones to adjust as well. So those are the ones that you can change. All right. So again, it helps you with your analysis tool when you're looking at team versus team to get some sort of sense of what the outcome might be.